Not a good beginning of the game, a bit loose, two clear chances to score for the opponent coming from our own mistakes. We were lucky that Melusi did a good job in the last second, and but not the right way to start. And but yeah, little by little, I think we got fully the control due to us, and also the proposal of the opponent tonight in the first half in a low block. Difficult to find the spaces. It's a difficult team to break, but we create enough in the first half. A bit more. The team was a bit more. How can I say, comfortable after the goal, creating more spaces. I think it was not something that we were planning to do. Obviously, Pule got a hit in his head, a concussion, and we have to introduce Karim, and Karim gave us a bit of how can I say, like uncertainty to the opponent. Also is a difficult player to read between lines, and he immediately start to create problems. We have a beautiful opportunity to double the lead with the pass from Karim to Rile. But I think, like I said, if you take the first minutes of the game, I think the game was under control, especially the first half. Then the second half, it happens what we expect. A little bit more of space, Nurkovic coming to the field. I think we managed quite well to keep him far from the box, with some problems in the pressing, but I think we managed to correct it, and still we have good chances in the second half. Cabello, Seix, to finish the game a little bit more calm, but I think we finished better than the last time. For example, we played with more purpose than the last game here at home against Swallows, where we were limping a bit in the last 10 minutes. Today, no. Even though we have to defend a couple of situations in set pieces, I didn't feel that the game was under threat. There was an action that they could connect in the box, but nothing else than that. So overall, obviously important 3 points. We can consolidate with this victory a good moment of the team in terms of performances, and finally not only performances, also good results. So really happy for the boys, because it's not happening for free. They are fighting a lot, and now we are getting a little bit of reward.
Now open for questions from the floor. Okay.
Good evening, Coach.
Good evening.
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Coach, I'm begging you, Coach, for the first time maybe since you here at Pirates, Kim Wee, he drops his shoulder, goes left or right, looks the other side, passes the other, dances and glances. What is it that you see from him at training that makes him such a special player? Only a few players can do what he does. Let me take it back to the 20th of September against Sundowns. 64th minute, he comes in, beautiful touches as well. How far can he reach, and can you just please expand on him as a human being as well at training, and what you see from him at training that it translates on the pitch?
I think we have an excellent group.
Assistant, please. Just once.
Okay, what you see, everybody can see it. I mean, these type of players like Karim, what they do well or very well, it's something that we all love, as a football fans, right? And we want to see more frequent on the field. We're trying to help him to just to be a more complete as a football player. Nowadays in football, I'm not talking about him specifically, okay? Even though I'm trying to answer your question, I'm not talking about a player as an individual, but the talented players in general, like he is. They need to be competitive in every aspect. No, if we rank like 10 or 12 important aspects as a football player nowadays, it's not enough with 3 or 4. You need to be consistent and solid in each and every one, and not too good or so good in 2 or 3. And with players like him, we're trying to help him to be more complete, because he has all the conditions to be an exceptional player, more frequent and more consistent. And it's going to happen. It's a question of time and not much. I'm 100% sure. And them the player as a Karim as a human being is a lovely guy. Is always trying to do his best, trying to integrate himself in a group where he's surrounded of talented players as well, and I can't complain at all. Not about Karim, about anybody in this group this season, but nothing relevant. He's a humble guy who wants to keep and push and keep his progression in football.
Thank you. Coach Riveiro from the ABC here. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Just still on Riveiro, but now I'm talking about that change. It was a forced change when it happened earlier, and it was when Galaxy was coming with those chances. But we saw that that forced change, it also brought a different dimension to play. Looking back, what would you say? What was important with that change, and how did you affect in terms of how you are approaching, especially the midfield? We could see that you played more narrower after you brought in Kim.
Now we were about to do player for player, like position for position, introduce Alen or Catlejo, and still playing with more like a winger. But we have the opportunity to read a little bit the beginning of the game, and understanding that Tito Patrick can help us in the right side to be the player free, have a little bit of time in the lateral corridor to make us progress from the side, where we could have a little bit more time due to the Galaxy approach, with not so much space in between lines. And then Karim can give you exactly that. Someone who can. It's very difficult against Galaxy to receive in a good profile between lines in the half spaces. You used to receive in negative positions many times, and Karim have the capacity to convert those negative passes in positive passes. I don't know if I express myself. To turn with the ball, or maybe with one touch eliminate one line, because like I said, it's more like unpredictable. He has the capacity to sometimes to see some things that are difficult to see with that small fraction of time, right? So that's what we show at that moment of the game, and that's why we decide to go with Karim and move Patrick to the right, where he's also used to play, like for example the last game at home against Swallows. And I think that somehow gave us something different in a way. So it's always nice to feel contribution from the players coming from the bench. In this case, too early in the game, like I said. But anyway, he was prepared, and I think he gave us a good performance.
Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
I'm also going to take a chance and ask you about the individual player. I really don't like it. Coach, I just want to check something. If for whatever reason the Wafana coach picks Rele in the AFCON squad, somebody who works with him on a daily basis, would you say he's ready to go for such a big occasion in the tournament?
All of them. All of them, honestly, all of them. I think we have talent in the team. We playing a lot of, or many, it's never a lot, or I don't know how to express myself correctly here, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. A lot of South African players in our squad, showing that they are competitive, and in the individual case of Rile, I think the only doubt that people can have about Rile maybe is his age and experience, but well, if he get the chance, he will get the opportunity to show if he has the capacity. We as his coaches, we feel that he, like I said several times, he's a talented player. He understands football very well. He needs to improve. He's a very young player, still needs to understand some other things that are related with the game, like I said before about Karim as well. And you know, sometimes talent is not enough to cover everything that this game required. But he's working hard. He's working very well, and I'm sure that whenever he gets the chance, if it's this year, next year, or whenever it happens, he's not going to disappoint anybody, because it's football. He's football. I mean, he's a football player.
Coach, as a coach, I've never been a coach, but you must have various scales of pleasure, if you understand what I mean. Winning scales of pleasure.
I understand. I'm trying to put it in this context.
Like so you have, you win the cup, or you beat Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm sure the scale of pleasure is higher. Well, how high is so many clean sheets in a row on that scale of pleasure for you as a coach?
Well, it's, we like it or not, it's a moment of the game. Usually we spend 40% of the time without possession, and if I'm not mistaken, we in the league, it's now 13 games, 13 games for us. We didn't concede a single goal in open play, only in set pieces and transitions so far. So more than the clean sheets, it talks very well about the level of commitment of the team when we are not in possession. And obviously not conceding, it's helping you to be close to win. One goal usually is enough for us to get the 3 points. It happens also the last season. I think it's just the continuity of the work and the importance that we are giving to the defensive phase as well. Even though we want and we are an offensive team, the numbers in terms of goals are there as well, and the profile of our players in each and every position, it's also quite, or we try to make it as offensive as possible. But when we lose the ball, everybody's defending. There's no secrets about that. We have good goalkeepers, and to be honest, it's not the thing that it's not like an obsession, if that's your question.
My question is more, do you come off the field and go, yeah, it's 5 in a row, you know?
No. I'm happy because there's people in the staff who's working hard to make it possible as well. So it makes me feel happy for them, I'm happy for the players, I'm happy for the goalkeepers, and everything counts. And if we want to be a competitive team in every scenario, not conceding, it's key. It goes without saying. But I try to celebrate, like, you know, the overall. I mean, it's not my mind going immediately to the fact that again we didn't concede, you know. But it's important for Buthelezi, for example. It's making his first games for Orlando Pirates. You know, run out of the game with a clean sheet again. In terms of confidence, it's very important for our centre backs. It's very important. So it has importance, but I like to celebrate more the the 3-0s or the 3-1s or the 4-1s. You understand what I mean? I think we all like football, and the fans are coming to the games to see as much goals as possible. So that's the aim always.
Another 2 questions?
Thanks to you, Coach. This may be a bit of a silly question to ask, but allow me to. When you play against a team that has a pro, maybe a UEFA pro license coach, versus a team that has probably a DCAF license, do you see a difference as a technician when you're on the field? Because there's this big debate now about educated coaches.
What do you mean exactly? The level of difficulty for me to deal with the approach? Well, it's a very complicated question to ask. In a press conference, it is more about a conversation than only an answer. But whatever I say now is gonna be a problem. I'm looking for an honest answer, okay? I'm not trying to run away of the question. I can tell you that there are some certain games that are more complicated from the tactical perspective in this league, like in every other league where I was, obviously. And not necessarily because of the license of the coach, if you understand what I mean. So I found problems and obstacles in different games. I want to think that I have the capacity to know when that difficulties are coming from the game plan, let's say, or from the level of the players as well, because sometimes it's not because of us, but it's because of the players, and not necessarily is related with the education of the coaches, because to be honest with you, 100%, I don't know what kind of education every coach is having, or where they got the license, or where they were teach. I'm not asking, hey, this coach, where did he get the license, in Scotland or in Cape Town? I think we all have different visions of the game. We try to reproduce our vision of the game on the field due to the training process, and everything is valid in order to win games. So I think education, knowledge is more related with your curiosity is correct, your capacity to absorb how much you love and you like this game, because nowadays it's not like 20 or 30 years ago. The knowledge is there for everyone. You just need to have the capacity and the will to go there and take it if you want it. So it doesn't matter. Sometimes we think that I don't know how to say. I think license in the end is like it's like a permit to do your job. The education that you get wherever you get your license, trust me, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not making you suddenly a good coach because you study in Spain or you study in Angola. It's about your curiosity, it's about your desire to still getting knowledge and, get experience, and that's the key for me. It's not the education that you will get in 1 or 2 years getting your license.
Another question, Mr. Pearson?
Coach, how bad is the injury situation at Pirates at the moment?
Well, is the bad side of our situation in terms of injuries is that we got 4 injuries in the same position, in the fullback position, and it's forcing us to find different solutions, like Deon since long time ago. Now Fortune, they are doing an excellent job, amazing, but that's what it make it a little bit more complicated. But we have We have a couple of players close, very close to come back. Hopefully before this year finish hopefully for the Super Sport game and Stellenbosch game we can recover more bodies.
Final question.
Final question. Coach, you touched on it earlier. You said you've got good goalkeepers, and sometimes, this is a department that doesn't get a lot of credit. It's not every day you've got a goalkeeper in his first 10 games and you get 8 clean sheets. And Melusi has done that. But I think overall, there was a day where you were really counting the number of goalkeepers that you've got, and almost all of them are all internationals. And, it must be something special. And so you were talking about how special it was for him to keep you in the game in the first 15 minutes of the game.
Oh, well, the goalkeeper is one more player in the structure. He's a specialist, and the speciality is what it happens in the first minutes. The goalkeeping is there with Melusi. It's not a discussion. He showed it already the last season, playing for Galaxy, and he's working hard, and he's competing with the number 1 goalkeeper of Ghana, with Sipo Chaine, and with a player with experience of Mponchani. So you can imagine the level of the trainings and the competition, and the goalkeeper department is doing a fantastic job, and so he's doing very well. We're happy with his performances so far. But the other ones are pushing hard, and that's what it makes you not get relaxed for a minute, and he's starting the games usually very well. Unfortunately, this is not a good thing that early in the games we are conceding chances. It's not the first time, it's not the second, it's not the third. So hopefully in the next ones we don't have to talk about Melusi or whoever is there in the goal anymore.